Hey everybody, Luke Garrity here. I am a pastor theologian living in Northern California, and in this of my first vlogs, I'm going to share with you why I am starting a vlog. So check it out. So why am I starting a vlog? Well, technically, I'm actually just starting a YouTube channel and I'll be doing some vlogging on it, but you'll also find videos that I might make that might be maybe outside the lines of being a traditional vlog. But the reason why I decided to start doing this is because back in the day when I was in grad school, when I was writing my dissertation, I actually spent a lot of time blogging, writing, typing on my MacBook Pro there, writing articles and sharing just different thoughts that I was wrestling with. And so I thought that I would be able to do the same type of thing, but maybe through a different medium in YouTube or Facebook videos and things like that. And so I'm going to be actually sharing different thoughts and maybe providing resources for those of you who are interested in. And so some of the topics that I'd actually like to wrestle with are just things that I really enjoy. I kind of am a jack of all trades in many different ways. I love the Bible. I love biblical theology. I love theology. I love systematic theology. I love church history. I love reading about leadership. I love the church. I love spiritual formation. I love food. I love hip hop. I love wrestling with how the church should approach and utilize technology and social media. I just have a lot of different interests. Plus, I'm a father of 5, and my wife and I are trying to do our best to raise our kids to be productive, contributing members of society, aka not end up in jail. But more importantly, we want them to know Jesus. You know, there's a lot of different things that I'm fascinated by in the world, and I wanted to start sharing some of those things. And I thought, since every single week I pretty much get emails, text messages, Facebook messages, I get tweets sometimes, and sometimes I even get Instagram direct messages, some DMs, asking me questions about how our church does certain things, or what resources I would use to maybe approach different subjects. And so, you know, oftentimes I'll respond and write something up. But I thought on this YouTube channel, I could actually make some videos, and that way I might be able to just share those videos with people, and it might prove to be helpful for you. And so I guess the audience that I'm going for is pretty much anybody. You know, you might be a pastor, you might be a theologian, you might be a pastor theologian, you might be a church leader. You might, there's lots of different people out there that might find this stuff helpful. You know, you might just be a follower of Jesus who's wanting to think through the implications of biblical theology. And so I'm going to be sharing resources and ideas on all those different things. I'm going to probably get into a rhythm eventually. I'm not sure if I'll have like Taco Tuesdays, and on Tuesdays I eat tacos while you listen to me talk about maybe some resources that I'm currently going through. But I'll be doing these videos all over the place. I've got this really nice Canon 6D Mark II, which is amazing, by the way. And I've got the equipment to be able to kind of travel around. So you might find me at our church office at times. You might find me here in my home office. I got my stuff behind me, books, my laptop, etc. Or I might be out and about just doing vlogging wherever I go. I'm actually doing this just because I thought it would be fun to mess around with. And then secondarily, you know, several of my friends have just been encouraging me to share more because they feel like I might have some helpful things to add to conversations around different topics related to the church and theology. You know, my theological bent is kind of interesting because I was trained, I actually grew up in the Vineyard movement, which is a charismatic evangelical tradition, I guess. Those were the two influences in my background. So I've been around you know, charismatic churches and evangelical hybrids, kind of this hybrid model. And I'll talk more about the Vineyard, I'm sure, at certain points, because there's things I absolutely love about the Vineyard, and then there's things that absolutely drive me crazy about our movement / denomination / movement. I'm not really quite sure what we are sometimes, but at any rate, that was the type of churches I I grew up in. I spent some time in some Assembly of God churches too. I went to an undergrad, I did my undergrad degree, a lot of it in the Assemblies of God system, so to speak. So I have a great appreciation for classic Pentecostal traditions. And then I actually switched over and was in a Reformed world for a little bit, exploring Reformed theology and reading men like Martin Luther and John Calvin and a host of other theologians. And then, you know, I also did a master's degree at the University of Birmingham. You have to say it Birmingham, not Birmingham, because the Birmingham I went to was in England, and I did that under Alan Anderson, which is a world-class Pentecostal scholar. And my degree focus was I wrote my dissertation actually in a program that was focused on evangelical and charismatic studies. So it was a lot of theology and a lot of history primarily, and I actually ended up writing a dissertation developing a sacramental theology for the Vineyard movement. So my theological tastes are pretty broad. I love biblical theology. I love reading N.T. Wright. I love reading Voss. There's a host of biblical theologians that I really find very helpful. I also, kind of have specialized, so to speak, in the last phase of my academic career in systematic theology and constructive theology. So I really enjoy reading, theology in that world too. There's some great theologians out there. I love Moltmann. I'm also increasingly being attracted to the writings of a lot of Anglican theologians. I love the Anglican tradition. And so Michael Bird is a biblical scholar who's written some theology as well that I really enjoy. And I also have a major appreciation for the spiritual formation, spiritual direction, I guess, the soul care, monastic Christianity that has also been kind of in the recent, I guess it's kind of become more at the front of the conversation in a lot of different circles. So I just have a lot of influences in my theological background, so to speak, and I've kind of learned how to identify strengths and oftentimes weaknesses, but I see strengths in different traditions, and I think that followers of Jesus can learn from each other. I love the church. I love the church. I love churches. Sometimes those communities can drive me crazy, but I also have this deep appreciation and deep love for the community of God's kingdom. And so I probably will actually have interviews on here as well. I'll have some guests that we can interact with and learn from a variety of traditions. And, so I'm going to be doing this on a regular basis. And I'd love to encourage you to subscribe to this channel. Feel free to share. And I also want to encourage you to leave comments below. If you have questions or if you have ideas that you'd like to see me address on this YouTube channel, please leave a comment, because I'm going to do my best to interact with the subjects and concepts and ideas and questions and issues that you are facing. And so feel free to do that, and I will do my best to get to them. But at any rate, I want to say thank you so much for watching this video, the inauguration of this YouTube channel. My name's Luke Garrity. You can follow me on Twitter. You can also follow me on Instagram. I also have a Facebook page and this YouTube channel. So I appreciate your time and have a great day. Goodbye.